What's up, everyone? The South Koreans have suffered embarrassment based on the actions of ICE and the Trump administration arresting their citizens in chains, as a matter of fact, and frog marching them in front of everybody. One thing these people, these foreign nationals, hate is bad publicity. They hate to be humiliated in front of the world. And I believe this all happened based on a call from Tory Branham of Georgia, who called in this complaint to ICE. And I think they probably had been watching this facility for a while, not knowing really that the foreign nationals from South Korea were there training Americans. They were there training Americans. Let me say it again. They were training Americans for the job. Then to be humiliated in public, marched in front of cameras, and said that they were here illegally only added insult to the injury. And I'm sure now that that $1 trillion investment that the South Korean president promised Donald Trump when they shook hands at the White House is now in jeopardy. Because I'm sure that if they haven't learned the lesson, the South Koreans will learn the lesson, is you cannot make fair trades with Trump and his administration. They are not loyal. These people are not loyal. They will stab you in the back at every possible turn. And the South Korean people are seeing what we as minorities in this country have known for years. You can't do business with some people, and you definitely can't do business with Trump. Trump can't be trusted. He is a bankrupt businessman who happened to become president, who is now probably on his way to becoming a trillionaire because so many people believed his lies. And now they're going to lose a lot because people are losing their jobs, they're losing their homes, they're losing their farms, they're losing a lot with this man because they believed in him. There are people who actually were victims of the Jeffrey Epstein incident who still voted for the man, even though he and Jeffrey Epstein were friends. This is so crazy that they still had faith in this man. It's as if they were taking some kind of psychedelic drug to just simply cause their brain to go numb. And they voted against their own self-interest. So now I believe that South Korea has learned the lesson. They will do what other companies like Canada, like Germany, like China, they will actually pull back their investments from the U.S. and invest with others of like mind. You can't do business with a tyrannical government. And right now, all we have is a tyrannical government here in the U.S. They're doing things that has never been done before, and they're doing it to the citizens of this country. So I'm sad for Hyundai, sad that they're going to lose, but that's the lesson in life. In order to win, you have to lose some. I would rather leave with my dignity intact. Let me say it again. I would rather leave this country with dignity intact than to be facing public pressure from the Trump administration when we shook hands in good faith that we were do business together. You can't do business with them. They cannot be trusted. So for those Americans who were in training, those Americans in Georgia and other places around the country who were in training, I think your training just came to an end. And also those plants that are not finished, you have to remember that construction just started at several of these facilities. That is on hold now. I think that they're going to take a good look at this and they're going to assess the damage and then they're going to act accordingly. Well, so much for making America great again. See you next time.